Now recording.
All right, so today is 6/5/2023. This is our Mindset Mondays, where we talk about the mental side of trading with some skill development, but mainly focused on mental skill development. How to really train your mind and get your mind primed and ready to attack and crush the market, and then discipline yourself to rewire your mind for best practices, behavioral patterns, etc., that will equal solid trades. That is the most important part of trading. I have an entire YouTube channel only dedicated to that, and I want you to give it your attention, like and follow the Wealth Wells podcast channel. All right, Wealth Wells Day Trading Podcast. All right. I get a lot of questions regarding money. I just talked with a surgeon, my surgeon, actually. And my surgeon, for a procedure I had to get done, and it really wasn't a long procedure, but the surgery went well. They had me in and out a couple hours, right? The recovery was worse, though, just it was on the back. So, but the surgeon that performed it, solid surgeon. A lot of respect for the surgeon. And they have a small practice and one employee and at the office. And just very passionate. Very passionate. And from time to time, I give advice on different aspects or verticals that I do have some expertise in, like business structure, etc. And so we begin to talk a little bit about business, and the question about money came up. And really, how to make more of it and structure a business or your life in a way that you get and can gain more income, more money. Now, you're thinking to yourself, well, that sounds odd coming from a surgeon, a doctor. But what you may not know is that doctors do not make a lot of money. I'm telling you the real deal. Now, possibly, if you're listening to this, your income may not be at the level of what a medical professional or a doctor's income is. But in the grand scheme of things, from the big picture, doctors don't make a lot. They don't make a lot, right? They may come anywhere from $250K to $400K, $500K, something like that. They carry an immense amount of insurance and liability coverage, and then there's the work-life balance thing, right? You really got to have a passion for saving lives. You have a passion for what you do, because they're going to spend a considerable amount of time at that job, and it's going to affect their life, their health, their relationships, and other things like that. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. So it's not a profession personally that I would choose, although I think it's fascinating. I am fascinated with it. And I mentioned all these things to my surgeon, and she looked at me in amazement. She said, "How do you know all that?" Right? Well, it's because experience in life has taught me. And so we went down a path of discussing money. Now, in my one-on-ones that I've done with many traders, they've also brought the same question up. They want to make more money, specifically in the market. They want to, be profitable, and they're often involved in other business ventures, or they've got a job, they're trying to be what have you. So this Mindset Mondays discussion is focused specifically on money. And we're not going to talk about how you make money in every little aspect. We're going to talk about the principles of making money. Because making money is principle based. You cannot make income at a high level. You cannot make money, profits at a high level, if you do not have and understand the principles of making money. Now, there are many, but we will discuss 5 today. There are many. I'll give you 5 today. Okay. Go back to the doctor for a second. I walk into the office. There's a lady sitting at the front. She's checking in and what have you. And, on the way out, we begin to talk. And she says, I need to get more business structure. I need to get things more aligned with my business. And I said, looking at your business, I can tell you right now, you've got 5 problems, right? And those 5 problems will be eliminated by a systematic approach or a system in place. I said, your business can't be that complicated, right? What are you doing? You're onboarding patients, right? You've got their patient file there. You need organization, you need a tracking system and a file system. When she got ready to discuss, or how they'll take your copay or whatever it is, when the clients are standing up there, for each client that I saw come up there for the copay, she's whipping out this little swiper or reader or whatever the case is, right? She's got a computer to the right. The computer, my background is in IT, so I can look at the screensaver of the computer and see that the computer hasn't been updated. It doesn't have security patches, all kind of things, right? So this tells me that although she's high performing in her craft, there are things that are suffering on the waist or coming to the wayside because she doesn't understand a systematic approach to her business. Now, the same ideology is applied to day trading. Your brain, your mind, your actions, they have to be primed in a way that you systematically approach money. Now, let's clear the air. Why are we talking about this? And this is a day trading community, right? Well, because before you do anything, how you feel about money, how you view, how you go about getting it matters significantly. It matters significantly. Okay. So we're going to talk about those principles, and those same principles apply to anyone trying to make money. It applies to any business trying to make money, any endeavor, and it applies to day trading. All right. Making money is principle based. Okay. Now, the first part to this may not be comfortable for you, but you're going to have to write this down, detail it, and really sit with your thoughts. The first part to understanding the principles of money is your childhood. I've said it many times. I'll continue to say it. I'm not the only one that says it, and I didn't come up with it. Right? Trading psychologists, specialists around the globe all agree, not just in day trading, but just in life in general. Your upbringing and certain factors and things that have happened govern the decisions before you even make them. Before you even make them. That decision, oftentimes, it's already made for you in your mind because of your behavior that stems from your childhood. I wrote a blog about it on the wealthwells.com/blog, or go to blog and look at, read the blog, Trading Mindset, improving your day trading mindset. There are 4 factors that impact your day trading. And so if we want to understand the principles of making money, we got to go back to your childhood for a little bit. You got to understand how you view money and why you feel the way you feel. Why? Why does that matter? Because when you start to day trade, your feelings about money will govern and push your trades. You want to know how I'm consistent, how I'm able to just read and trade this thing over and over so effectively? It's because I do not care about money the way you might care about money. Is it important? Yes, for sure. No doubt about it. You're not going to get me to lie and say it's not important. Do you enjoy making money? Yes, I enjoy seeing the results from my hard work. Absolutely, right? I ain't going to make that up. Right? Right? Do you use money to buy luxury things? Yes. Travel? Yes. Pay bills? Yes. Philanthropic activities, volunteer work? Yes, yes, yes. For sure. All that stuff. Is it necessary? Yes. So we're not saying don't make any money. But you're going to have to understand that how you view it, what you feel about it, how does it make you feel? Let's go over a few questions, all right? I ask these questions to many day traders inside of our one-on-ones. When I help you build a trade identity, I help you do a SWOT assessment. I help you understand yourself and the trading aspect. And then we formulate and we craft a trading plan that suits where you are and where you want to be. I'm going to give you the diamonds and gold here. It's up to you to use it. All right. I'm going to give it to you. All right. It's up to you to use it. Be honest with yourself. Grab a piece of paper and write it down. How do you feel about money? You get excited when you got a lot of money? Do you have to have cash on you? Are you one of those guys? All right, you get excited when you get a little bit of money. You see your bank account going up. You're excited. You don't know what to do with it. You get excited when you even have access to money, a couple of credit cards. Are you the kind of guy or the kind of girl who keeps searching around on the internet, on YouTube for these credit secrets and, oh, I just want to get more credit, and you have no plan to get anything or do anything with the credit? You just want to have access to it. You just wish you had more money. In any way, you don't care how it comes. You want it. Borrowed, begged, you want to get it. Is that how you feel? Do you feel like money will satisfy all of your problems? Do you feel like money will make you happier? Do you feel like money will improve your relationships? How do you feel about money? Are you in a rush to make money? Just a couple of questions to think about. You're going to have to dig deep and answer those questions, because it will 100%, 1,000% govern how you trade. You want to know why you're rushing into trades at times? You want to know why you feel like you're missing out? You want to know why your heart is pump, 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 pump every time the market opens and you're nervous? Why are you nervous? Why do you feel anything? Why are you excited? Why are you nervous? Why? Why do you feel anything about this red or green square candlestick on your screen? Why? Why do you care about it? It doesn't do anything to your life. It is just an application. That's it. It's just an application, a representation of what's happening in a trading market. That's it. Why do you feel anything about that? You need to go back to your childhood. Did you grow up poor? Did you have to struggle? Are you dead set on not going back to that? Who told you you couldn't have something? So now when you get a little bit of money, you're blowing it all the time. What are some symptoms of that type of personality? Well, that kind of person, their account never gets over a certain threshold. It goes up 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, and then boom, they lose it again. Goes up 5, 10, 20, boom, they keep losing it. And it can never get over these thresholds, whatever they are. Can't get over the thresholds. It's because of how you feel about money, period. You haven't learned the principles of money. So do some deep dive. Think about your childhood. We won't go too deep into that one. I've done a Mindset Money Zone that I'll do more. We won't go too deep into that. But you need to answer those questions. Sit down with your thoughts. Work them out so that when you do get into a one-on-one or you get some help, you can accurately articulate what you've been through, and you can get the solution to resolve certain mental issues as it pertains to money, thus correcting the behaviors in the market. All right. Money is emotional. All right. Most people attach emotions to money. But there's a principle that you'll have to develop, you'll have to understand when it comes to removing emotions away from money. And the reason money can be emotional is because people attach people, places, things, and their heart to money. If you learn how to remove people, places, things, and your heart from money, you will be unstoppable. If you learn how to remove people, places, and things, and your heart from money, you will be unstoppable. The having of money makes people feel some kind of way. The not having it makes people feel some kind of way. So it's emotional. All right. Now, when you lack this balance, this imbalanced approach, it causes you to do things that ultimately will hurt you. Now, in life, when a person is imbalanced when it comes to money, they can have a sense of desperation. You ever met somebody like that? It's desperate to make money. Yep. They'll do illegal things. They'll do immoral things. They'll do anything just to make some money. And then they'll justify it. And they'll feel horrible about themselves. Or even worse, it will cost them dearly. Right? So we're just talking about getting your mind right and primed to change your view of money so that you can accept the principles of money. Right? When you understand the principles, money will flow to you faster, and you'll be able to day trade even better. Things will balance out in your life. So I'm going to give you 5 principles right now. 5 principles to making money, to keeping money, to being successful in the market, all of that. 5 principles. We'll go over them now. Number 1. Principle number 1. Money follows work and strategy. Money follows work and strategy. In life and in the market, if you do not work, if you do not have a strategy, you will not make money. Now, what's the definition of work? There's a mathematical definition of work. The definition is force times distance equals work. So, if I ask you, what type of work are you doing to improve yourself in the market, and you have never read a book, you don't spend time in a simulated or demo account, you don't spend time charting and recharting, you never spend time in pre-market, never, you don't even know how to do FATA, you just want a cheat code, you aren't doing work, period. You're not moving the needle. Period. Why? What's the definition of work? Force times distance. So you have to put energy in something, and that something has to be over a sustained period of time, and it's got to move. It's got to move. If you push a rock, that rock has to move even a little bit. Otherwise, you didn't do any work. You didn't move it. Nothing happened. But I keep looking at the charts. That's fine. You can look at that chart all day long. You ever met someone who just is involved in busy work? That's why we call it busy work. They're just being busy, but they're not really working. So the same is true in the market. Remember, principle number 1, money follows work and strategy. So we've talked about work, the strategy. If you have an improper strategy, a flawed strategy on anything in business, in life, in the market, money will not come to you. You will not make money. This is why supply and demand, flawed strategy, poor. This is why lagging indicators, flawed strategy, poor. This is why patterns, flawed strategy, poor. This is why most people don't make money, because the strategy is not solid. Can they make money sometimes? Yes, but I don't want to make money sometimes. I want to make money all the time. Everyone who wants to make money all the time, raise your hand. You want to make money all the time? You have to have an appropriate strategy. That's how it works. Remember, principle number 1, money follows work and strategy. Principle number 2, money is afraid of and fears desperation. Money fears desperation. If you are desperate to make money, if you are always, for the lack of a better phrase, trading from behind, has that ever happened to you? Majority of your trades, you're trying to fix a poor entry, the lack of taking profit at your level. You mismanaged the trade. You did something wrong. You're trading from a desperate perspective or a desperate stance all the time. It's almost like a boxer, and you're trading on you're fighting on your heels. Like, at some point, you got to go on the offensive and have a strategy. Money does not stick around that type of trader, that type of person. It doesn't. Money fears desperation. Principle number 3. Money loves consistency. Money loves consistency. Now, notice I didn't say that money comes from consistency, because you can do something over and over, and unless all of the boxes are checked, you're not going to make any money in it. It can be a flawed system, flawed strategy, whatever the case is, right? But for a fact, if you consistently work at your craft, for a fact, you will be successful, so long as you have the right mentality and the right system. You stay at it. You got the right system. You work on your mind. It is inevitable you will be successful. We talked about this a little earlier. I'll restate it here so that those who listen to this later will have it. But one of the primary reasons why most day traders fail, aside from everything that I've already talked about, is they give up. The market just beats them up and beats them up and beats them up, and they give up. And most of it is because they have unrealistic expectations. They have a flawed system. And that is because deep down inside, they lack the ability to accept the direction or to accept help or really reevaluate. They don't see themselves the way the market sees them. They don't see themselves the way a coach or a mentor would see them. and they have pride and lack the ability to change. That's how it goes. That's how it rolls. That's how it works. Money loves consistency. If you consistently work at it and you don't give up, it is going to take you 3 to 5 years to get to the point where you can say, I'm coming out the day green. Then by year 7, from 5 to 7, you will hit the good, great, and elite status if you work at this thing every day. You keep moving forward. You plug into a system, doesn't have to be mine, but it has to be a solid system. It cannot be flawed. It cannot. None of this applies to flawed systems. None of this applies to YOLOs, and none of this applies to people using, swing systems that, don't really amount to a hill of beans. None of that. All right. Principle number 4. Money runs from desperation. It runs from it. So we talked about it being afraid of it. This means that you won't even get close to the type of income that you want to make. But the 4th principle is then you begin to lose the money, right? So if you do have a few trades where you're like, I did good on that, but you start to be desperate, you'll lose it. Oftentimes in the same day, certainly in the same week, guaranteed in the same month and year. No doubt about it. It's gone. It's gone. Again, you have to go back to how you feel about money. What happened in your childhood? And then strategize a plan to get better. Principle number 5. We talked about money being emotional, but here's the caveat. Money is only emotional to those who have emotions tied to it. Principle number 5. Money is only emotional to those who have emotions tied to it. If you see money for what it really is, it's just a tool. You're going to be so solid when it comes to trading. And for that matter, many things in your life when it comes to business and money. It's just a tool. It's like a key. It's just designed to open a door. Well, there's more than one way to open that door, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you can break the door down, can't you? You try to get in through the window, right? But the easiest way is what? With the key. Open it up. That's money. But if you understand that, all right, I don't want to go through that door. I don't care about this aspect or this thing. Then you won't feel in a rush. You won't feel so, agitated when you don't have it, so excited when you get it. It's just a tool. Nobody but a carpenter gets excited about a new hammer. It's the only person. And he's only excited in the beginning. Once that hammer falls in the mud, once he drops his hammer off of the high rise and it's bent, once that hammer, falls off of a house and, it gets run over and it gets dinged up. And once that hammer, then it's just like, yeah, that's my favorite hammer, but it ain't really, it's not brand new. It's not shiny. It's just a tool. And he continues to use it for what it really is. He doesn't talk about it every day. He doesn't brag about it. It's just a tool. So the same is true. When you're making money in the market, this is why in this Discord, in this community, we celebrate wins. I don't have a pain or a gains and pains or a profit channel necessarily. Yes, you see the profits. We get all that. That's just being transparent, and that's a little fun. Okay. But our Discord, our community is not dominated by that mentality and dominated by that behavior. We are dominated by consistency. How many consistent trades can you string together today and the profits will follow? If you use DAC, you're going to come out of every trade at least 10, 15% or more. It is what it is, right? If you use what I tell you, dot 30, delta, and etc., you can watch my Greeks video. You're going to win. You're going to win. So what's going to stop you is the thing between your ears, your mind. So what have we talked about? In this short chat, we've talked about the principles of making money. And we said You're going to have to sit down with a piece of paper and ask those aforementioned questions about your childhood. You're going to need to think deeply about how you feel about money and what's happening and what has happened in your life. And then you're going to need to put some context behind it and really get down to the roots. What happened growing up? Were you poor? Were you rich? Did you just blow money and didn't care about it? That matters too. Just because you had some money doesn't mean you know how to manage it. I see that a lot. Attaching your emotions to it. You got to answer all those questions. Then we talked about the emotional connection that money can have to those who attach their emotions to it, right? Their heart's in it. They attach it to people, places, things in their heart. You got to get it out, get it away from that. And then I gave you 5 principles of money, making money for anywhere. Now, there are more, but this chat, we only have a few. Number 1, money follows work and strategy. Number 2, money fears. It runs away from desperation. Number 3, money loves consistency. Number 4, again, money is going to avoid and run away from desperation. The first, money fears it. You can't get around it. The second, it's not even going to allow you to come near it, and you are not going to be able to sustain it. Not going to be consistent. It's going to bleed from you. I'll give you an example of that 4th point so you can understand the difference between number 2 and number 4. Principle 2 is money fears desperation. Principle 4 is money runs from desperation. Let me give you the difference. Fearing something means you still have the ability to address it. You still have the ability to attack it. It's there, right? It's in front of you. You're afraid of it. It's there, all right? So if you're a desperate trader, you are at the cusp of making money. You just need to get over some things and, you'll be fine. But when money runs away from it, let's talk about some behaviors, right? Again, that's the kind of trader who is up in the day. Has this ever happened to you? You're trading good, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 5 for 5. You're making money in the morning. Afternoon, you lose it all. Has that ever happened to you? Well, it's money's running away from you. You're trading with a sense of desperation. Stop it. Number 5, money is only emotional to those who have an emotional attachment to it. The big picture is you've got to get your emotions removed from money. And so I try to help you with a systematic approach, looking at the market from a holistic standpoint. We discuss the macros and the micros of the market. We come up with the plan and the thesis. I have a time in trade metric, a time to target metric, TIT, T2T. We've got those metrics. We use the Wealth Wells 90-day day trading journal. And every day, you guys hear me writing sometimes. Every time you hear me writing in my paper, in my journal, on the paper, you hear me writing it. Because even now at this level, this is how I keep myself in check. It's not one and done. It's not, I figured this thing out. No, the market is flexible. The market is malleable. It moves, it changes. I love when traders come to me and say, all you got to do is, oh man, you are an idiot. All you have to do, oh man, stop it. It's not how this works. There's many components to being successful. And the first thing you got to do is get your mind right. And in getting your mind right, you're going to have to come around to understanding the principles of money. This has been our Mindset Mondays for 6/5/2023. I hope this has been informative and helpful to you guys to help shape how you approach the market and crush this thing. If you show up, you'll go up. You put the work in, your account and your skill level will go up. Let's get back to trading. KD for the Wealth Wells, signing out.